Hey Mena Warriors, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate Hartley and I share a weekly video with you every Monday about something related to menopause, fat loss. So today I'm actually talking about the 5 top mistakes that you want to avoid doing, because I find that the majority of women I speak to are doing more of what they used to do, but it's no longer working. That's the same experience that I had. I was restricting what I was eating. I was working out even more than I'd ever done, and still I was gaining weight, particularly around the middle. So I want to break it down as to the top 5 things that you want to avoid doing, and also give you an understanding of why those things are not serving you any longer. The first one is working out every single day. Your body needs time to recover. When we strength train, which is ideally what you want to be doing through menopause, you are creating tiny little micro tears in your muscles. Those are what are known as DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. Whenever I start a new program, I get some DOMS of some sorts, because if you use different programs, which is why I think it's so great to follow a program, you're creating a little bit of muscle confusion. You're using muscles in a slightly different way. And so that creates that little bit of inflammation. And that's all it is. It's just the body repairing those micro tears. But if you're doing the same sort of workout every single day, day in, day out, you're creating those little micro tears, but you're never giving them chance to recover, which then leads to an increased risk of injury, continual inflammation, which we all know is bad for us. So you need time for your muscles to be able to recover fully and repair those micro tears, because that's when you build up that lovely lean muscle. That's when you get the nice toning and the sculpting of all those muscles around your body. So rest days are very, very important. They're also good for your mental health. We need time off. We're also busy doing. So make sure, even if like you've done a serious hike one day, don't do a leg day the next day. You may want to do a stretch legs day the next day to help sort of ease out any of that lactic acid and inflammation that you've created, but really avoid doing same body parts day in, day out. Another reason I think it's so great to follow a program is the fact that that risk is avoided, because one day you might be focusing on upper body, the next it could be lower body, the day after that it might be front body, the next day it might be back body. And so you're never overworking one particular area. And also, when you have got that continuous inflammation, if you are overworking, you are going to create what we call adhesions in the massage industry, and those are what you probably refer to as knots, and those can create then dysfunction around the body, and you really do need to have them rolled out or massaged out. If you have a foam roller at home, you can actually do a lot of self-care yourself that way, but there is nothing like a good sports massage to make your eyes water, and also to get your body back in a good functioning way. Avoid overtraining. Make sure you are getting your rest days. The next one is extreme calorie restriction, or even just moderate restriction. This is one thing that certainly I was doing, and a lot of the ladies that I speak to are saying, I'm working out loads and I'm practically starving myself. For a start, it makes you really, really miserable. The body has its natural default setting. So that is why on a yo-yo diet, you'll find that you may lose weight, because of course you will if you're starving your body. But your body's also really clever. It goes into survival mode. So when you start to eat normally, and we all have that default happy setting, and that happy setting is a good setting. It's what is your normal setting. But there are ways you can positively influence that by doing the right things and eating the right foods that serve your body rather than those that don't, which is why that calories in, calories out equation is just not particularly useful. Watch last week's Menopause Monday. I will link it at the end of this, which is all about how and why we actually hang on to fat. And that will help dispel that calories in, calories out myth, because calories are not created equal. And those systems that use the calorie counting are missing a very important point when it comes to fat loss. So when you're restricting what you're eating, you are not allowing your body to build lean muscle, because you're not putting enough calories in. We need to eat food as fuel. We need to eat the right kinds of food to build lean muscle, which is then actually going to help you burn more calories effectively. Plus, you'll enjoy living. Food is so enjoyable when you didn't know how to do it well. And restriction also stimulates your cortisol release. So cortisol is responsible for a lot of the belly fat that you might be getting. It's one of our stress hormones. And when you're starving your body or restricting your body from what it can eat, you are causing stress in your body. And when cortisol rises, so does insulin, which is our fat storing hormone. So starvation or restriction is not the way to go. I learned that by just taking a leap of faith. It was just like, I cannot believe that I'm going to be able to eat all this stuff and do shorter workouts and actually get to the shape and the weight that I wanted to be. And lo and behold, it happened. And it was a bit of a leap of faith. I honestly did not believe it was going to work, and it did. And now I eat, I enjoy my food, I work out for less time, and I feel like as a 53-year-old woman, I'm in good shape, I'm confident about my body. And yes, of course, I wish it would still look like it was 20, but it doesn't. That's just a fact of life. And it's about doing the best with what we've got. And I really feel that, like, eating proper food regularly, doing short amounts of really specific strength training workouts, you can achieve an awful lot. Next one is cardio. If you're doing too much cardio, you'll be breaking down any lean muscle that you've created. And also cardio, again, can be a stressor on your body. So I know the temptation is to go out and think, right, well, I'm going to run further, or I'm going to swim further, I'm going to go cycle more. Those sorts of things, while you may love them and they're probably great for your mental health, I know that runner's high, I've had it myself, even though I'm not a natural runner, your body gets used to it for a start. Changing things up is really, really important. But long distance anything will tend to spike your cortisol, so it will lay on belly fat, and it's also breaking down the muscle fibers that you're actually making. So while it might make you leaner and you might weigh less because you're not having so much muscle in your body, unless you're, a really, your focus is long distance athlete, in which case you're not watching this because you'll have your own team of trainers and a lot of money invested in you. For us mere mortals, we overdoing the running, overdoing anything long distance cardio is probably not going to help you achieve your goals through perimenopause and postmenopause. It spikes your cortisol level, which can lead to belly fat, weight gain. The cortisol breaks down your stronger muscles in your body. You do need to be focusing on strength training. If you say, I absolutely have to get out and do my run because it just keeps me sane, make sure you're combining that with a really great strength training program too, because then at least you're mitigating the effects of the running. And there's a program that I did. I absolutely loved it. I'm not a natural runner. I really feel like I set off an earthquake each time my foot lands on the ground. And I did this program, a little bit nervous about it. And it involves 20 minutes of pretty heavy duty strength training, and then 20 minutes of very, very focused running training. So some days it would be we ran fast for a short period of time, then we ran fast for a slightly longer period of time, or we run progressively faster for short bits, but slower for longer pieces. And it was put together by an international track athlete. She's fabulous. And her body is incredible. And that was a combination of strength training and very, very focused running. And my run, I actually came out of it feeling like a really confident runner. And I actually, for the first time in my life, enjoyed running. I felt wow. And it was the runner's high, but it was the runner's high for all the right reasons. So if you wanted to learn more about that program, in the description beneath this, there is a form called the Sparkle Back form. If there's anything that you want to achieve with your health and fitness goals, just fill in that form, because it has a few questions about nutrition, a few questions about your goals, your struggles, what you want to achieve with your body, and I can get back in touch with you and we can see if what I offer you will be a fit for you. It's not going to be me saying you have to do this. I will be advising what I think would suit you best, and it's entirely up to you whether you take that any further. The next one is making sure that you are lifting weights that are heavy enough. So strength training is an absolute yes if you want to burn fat effectively, if you want to be healthy through your perimenopausal years and your postmenopausal years. Strength training, building muscle, helps to prevent the muscle breakdown, which naturally occurs as we go through menopause, and it also keeps your bones strong. Another really, really important. You've probably heard of brittle bone disease or osteopenia or osteoporosis. Those are the things you want to avoid. Also avoid the sodas, the high fructose corn syrup, because that leaches the calcium out of your body. You don't really need to take calcium supplements. That is a bit of a myth as well. but make sure you are avoiding like the shop-bought mayonnaises and salad dressings. Just look out for high fructose corn syrup because it's hidden in a lot of foods, and that is one of the things you really do want to avoid drinking or taking in your food. You want a good combination of fewer reps of heavier weights, and then the next day you'll probably do more reps of slightly lighter weights. And on those heavier weight days, so you're looking for sort of progressive overload. Say you're doing a bicep curl, start with a weight you can probably only do 1 rep of, and then move to, say, 7 reps of a slightly different weight. And then the next time you do that workout, you would probably try and do 2 reps of the slightly heavier weight, and then move down to 6 reps of the slightly lighter weight. And by that way, you're noticing that you've got progressive overload, you're gaining every time you do a workout. Also bear in mind, sometimes you won't be able to lift heavier. You may have slept badly, you know, how you're feeling is different, you may not have eaten so well. All those factors play a really important role. So don't get hard on yourself if you're thinking, well, last week I managed to do like 2 reps of the heavier weight and 6 reps of the slightly lighter weight, and now I can only do 8 reps of the slightly lighter weight. That's just life, that's the way it goes. But you want the trajectory to be to you becoming stronger overall. A good way of knowing whether you're lifting heavy enough also is for the last 3 reps, you really want to be getting that burny feeling where you're thinking, oh, I'm really looking forward to this section coming to an end. And by the sort of final rep, you really want to be like, oh, I can barely do this one. And then you know that you're really pushing yourself within your own ability envelope. Remember, it's your own ability envelope given that particular day and the different circumstances that helped create that particular day for you. But having a body full of strong lean muscle will help to boost your metabolism, which makes you burn fat more effectively. So during a heavy duty cardio session, you're going to be burning calories, of course, but you're also going to be spiking your cortisol levels, which are going to be contributing to belly fat. But also, as cortisol rises, so does insulin, which is your fat storing hormone. So you're actually going to be creating this condition in your body where you're going to be storing fat. So be really mindful. Again, the watches, the things that they're useful, but it's not the whole picture. Watch that Menopause Monday from last week if you've not done so, about the science of why we get fat, because it has slides. I'm a visual learner. I think a lot of us, when we hear about hormones, we run to the hills. We think, oh God, that's far too complicated. It helps to break down why it's so important that we understand beyond the caloric burn. And once you watch that, you'll have a much greater understanding of why what you're doing or what you're about to start to do is going to make sense for you. After a strength training workout, not necessarily a long one, but an effective strength training workout, you burn more calories in a 24-hour period after a strength training workout than you do after a high intensity cardio workout. So just bear that in mind too. We're all programmed to think, oh, cardio is the way to go for calorie burn. Strength training is going to get you your results. It's going to make you look leaner and stronger, and it's also going to help you burn more calories more effectively over a longer period of time. Plus, it will keep your metabolism boosted, which is what you want to aim for as we're getting on in years. Finally, make sure you're eating enough protein. This is something I've recently started doing. I was thinking I was eating enough protein, and then when I actually started tracking it, there's a powerful proteins guide linked in the description box below. Download that. It will give you a really good resource to see which food sources give you the biggest bang for your buck as far as protein goes. But we need protein in our bodies for literally everything. Protein is so important. It's one of the building blocks of life, but we also need it to help us build lean muscle. So if you're not eating enough protein, you're going to struggle to build that lean muscle. Yes, you'll build it, but you know, if you're doing a 30-minute strength training workout, you want to get the best gains for it. So I advise eating a small protein-packed meal before you do your workout, and then you want a protein, ideally a recovery drink after you've done your workout, and make sure then you're eating protein throughout the course of the day. Aim for protein at every meal. To understand how much protein you want to aim for, whatever your ideal body weight is, so say it's 140 pounds, aim for 140 grams of lean protein every day. And I think you'll struggle to actually make sure that you're eating that much. It's quite an effort. When I first started it, it was just like, phew, now what can I eat? Whereas now I've sort of got into a flow and I know which meals are ticking those protein boxes. But download that powerful proteins guide. It will give you an indicator as to which foods will serve you best You know, like for instance, you'd think, oh, beef's going to have higher amount of protein than chicken. Well, actually, no, chicken has higher amount of protein. So it's really, really interesting to see it from that point of view. You know, where do chia seeds fall? Where's quinoa? That sort of thing. Cheese, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese. So make sure you download that. It'll be a helpful resource for you. So I've just given you the 5 most common weight loss, muscle building mistakes. If you are thinking, God, I just need to follow a program that's going to teach me about the nutrition, it's going to teach me about the right workouts to do, on the 3rd of June, as of 3rd of June 2024, I'm hosting a 21-day program. Most women lose between, and men lose between 8 and 15 pounds when they're doing it. It's the right combination of really effective strength training programs, low impact cardio, and then active recovery days. It is a really, really popular program because it's so effective. It's for all fitness levels. There's a modifier for easier moves. If you happen to watch this after the 3rd of June, fill in that Sparkle Back form, because I will let you know what challenge I'm running next month. I run a challenge every single month, and a lot of women that I take on actually do that 21-day challenge in any case. But if you're here watching this in time for the 3rd of June kickoff and you want to be part of that challenge, fill in the Sparkle Back form. I will be in touch with you as soon as I see that form come back through, and I will just share with you what the program is, how it will work, and then you can decide if it's something you want to get started with. It is phenomenal, and I've had ladies that have joined and they've had like over 150 pounds of weight to lose, and they've just done that program consistently back to back to back to back for a period of 6-8 months, and they've had incredible results. So it's one of those things, you can just do it for 3 weeks and then stop, or you can go do it for 3 weeks and move on to another program if you want to, or stay with that program and, like I say, do it back to back to back until you've reached the level that you want to reach. We're all different. I like to do a program and then move on to something new. I'm a real squirrel brain. A lot of people get a real comfort from doing the same program and watching their progression. So you know, you can easily then see how much more you can manage with the weights in the similar routines. All the workouts are different. You will not get bored with it. It's really engaging. It's really fun. The nutrition that comes with it also will really teach you about how to feed your body effectively for the right kind of muscle gain, for hormone balance, and you will get great results from it. It's 30-minute workouts, and they are so effective. But combine that with the nutrition and of course my support. I will be there to mentor you along the way. I will be really supporting you in the background. I will be part and parcel of your entire experience with that, and there to answer any questions that you might have. We can hop on one-to-one calls and go over your individual problems in a much greater detail. So if you'd like to be part of that, just fill in that form and I will be back in touch with you as soon as I see your form come through. Imagine just getting into your wardrobe and be able to fit into the clothes that you want to fit into. Imagine being able to go onto the beach and not hide behind a cover-up. And I think we all talk about, which is just the aesthetics, they're not that important. Actually, they are. You have to be confident in how you look. We just want to feel comfortable and happy and energized in our bodies where we're at in life. And you can achieve that. It doesn't take that much effort. And there's something very empowering when you're in the driver's seat thinking, actually, I'm taking active steps to get to the life that I want to have. And I absolutely promise you, a strong body helps to support a strong mind too. Knowing what to eat and how to move my body has got me through the deepest, darkest moments of my life. And while I love being out in nature and there are other things that you can do, I've never gone down the antidepressant route. Knowing that you are helping to balance your hormones effectively through food and creating the structure of the body that you want to achieve through the right kinds of workouts without the risk of injury, because your form is good, you're not overworking different body parts. And also having a community of people to do it with. I think that's also really important. I never knew the power of community until I was part of one. And I thought, oh gosh, actually, this is like the hidden gem that I didn't even know existed and I didn't even know I needed. So I will leave you with that. Fill in the Sparkle Back form if you'd like to just take it any further, even if you just want to have a chat. And I hope you have a fabulous week. Apologies for the naughty puppy in the background contributing to this video, and I will talk to you soon.